Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Covering my DoorDash activities for Friday, October 24th, 2025. Guys, today sucked. I mean, it's just, I made pretty good money today, and I'll get to that, but it's just how I got it was not fun at all. It's very challenging today. But anyway, let's get through this here. So last night I was able to stay up past 9:30. So I was watching a show and kind of like keeping my eye on the clock, and 9:30 approached, and like over 100 people nightly in my area do, apparently. I was watching the time and getting geared up and ready, and right when 9:30 hit, I was going to join that wait list. And that's what I did. Right at the stroke of 9:30, wait list. Okay? Get the message, 5 a.m., you see your place in line. So that only got me like spot 59. I was on there and clicked on it right away, and did still, a pretty high spot in that wait list. So that leads me to believe that it's not just, I'm sure it's probably not just a matter of who gets on there first and clicks the button first, and that's the order. I'm sure there's other factors involved to what they're not telling us in all the facts that you read online. Where they try to describe this process. I don't think everything's being um, divulged or whatever. Full transparency, whatever the case, whatever you want to call it. Um, I think there's got to be. I mean, the fact that I got on there right at 9:30, hit that button immediately, and got number 59, that leads me to believe that there's other factors like people that have already done this before, that have had a success rate with DashLink, and what, I don't know, whatever, all other factors. And so anyway, there was I got a new subscriber to the channel who commented on one. I think it was yesterday's video. Commented this morning on that. Thanks for joining the channel, by the way. Thanks for the subscription. Um, who made a comment like it's not even worth bothering with this. You're better off with Amazon Flex, or you don't even bother with DashLink. There's too many issues with it, and it's just not worth it. And that's what I'm kind of starting to think here. And these last few videos, I forgot to mention that I did watch a parts of another video from a popular gig tuber. I won't name drop here, but where he tried out DashLink and just had all kinds of problems. There was all kinds of problems at the pickup location trying to scan the packages and get the stop numbers. And then there was problems with the navigation. And in fact, for whatever reason, he couldn't even use the in-app navigation. He had to open up some other navigation. Uh, and then there's like problems at the drop-offs. Like, for example, he in the video, he goes to like a high-rise apartment building or hotel, goes up so many floors, delivers something, and then realizes he's got another package going back in there. So imagine coming down 10 or 12 stories, come back to your car, get the next pack, go back in. And I guess there was like 3 packages going to this building. and he repeated the process, the whole entire process of car to building to elevator to back down the elevator, and repeated that whole process 3 times for one building, supposedly. Um, but I couldn't, as far as like how much money made and the total time and how it was the overall experience, I couldn't watch all of the video because it's like one of those videos that I can't watch too much of. It had way too much editing in it. Different YouTube viewers have different tastes and what kinds of videos they like to watch and everything. I'm no different. I've talked about before, I can't watch the gig tubers that do the ride-alongs where the camera is forward facing on the road. I can't watch those. I'll get motion sickness. I can't, like this person's video I just talked about with the massive editing and all the things popping up on the screen and all the bells and whistles and this and graphics and this and that. I can't watch videos with 100,000 things popping up all over the screen. And then the other type of video I can't watch is the ones with the AI narration. Either AI or like one guy talking like in a monotone voice where it kind of sounds like they're teaching a class or something. I just, as soon as I jump on a video that, and a lot of times it's those videos that's supposed to be some, I'll click on something that's supposed to have some juicy, gossipy, controversial news or something, and it's just some guy throwing up different pictures from other websites or wherever the case, and then speaking in a monotone voice. Um, I sorry for getting way off topic here, guys. I apologize, but that's why in my videos I try to change up my speaking style. If you notice, like I naturally have like a slower speaking voice, and so a lot of times I'll talk slow, but I try to speed up my voice here and there. I try to change the pitch, the tone. Sometimes I yell, sometimes I scream, sometimes I might cry or laugh. I show emotion. Sometimes I throw things like in yesterday's video. Is that still on the floor or did I pick that up from yesterday's video? I picked it up. But anyway, we're getting way off topic. I think I'm gonna just go ahead and give this whole DashLink thing a rest. And okay, so after this, I picked up another gig. This was like the main problem with today. I picked up another gig for like $100. And I was hoping to do that in 3.5 hours, something like that. Well, it ended up taking 5 hours. And there was some issues with that and complications. And it was it was kind of sort of a nightmare. And so I didn't get logged in. You see here, I didn't get logged into a Dash today until after 11 o'clock. So I finished with this other gig. I came home, visited my wife for just a few minutes, walked the dog, and it was about 11 o'clock. I logged into the Dash. But, I was thinking earlier, I may need to I should just stick with what I do best and what I know best. Okay, I should just stick with the shopping orders and the just your basic regular food delivery with DoorDash, the orders that my bread and butter. Okay, I need to all these other different forms of gig work. Okay, and like the one I did earlier today, and then the last few days I've been talking about this DashLink thing. Okay, I just think I need to give all this other stuff a rest. Okay, it's all it feels like it's doing is just like it's just making the water muddy here when it doesn't need to be. I'm just kind of like making things complicated. I do all right with just logging into a regular Dash every day, 6 o'clock in the morning on weekdays, 7 o'clock a.m. on Saturdays and Sundays. And I do my thing and I, 99 times out of 100 make my goals and we're good to go. I, I think I need to stop throwing in all these other different things into the mix. I mean, it's, it's just, it's not helping. It's really not. Anyway, enough about all that. So I go ahead and log in 11:05. I got to get a pretty good one right off the bat. $19, less than 10 miles, just 13 things to shop. Okay, before I get in the store, I get like two add-ons here. So here's the first one, 675, 3.5 miles, only one item. Yeah, why not? Okay, and then just 4 minutes later, I get another one. Additional 1125, additional 4 miles, just five things to shop. I'll go ahead and take this one too. Okay, so on the surface, you're at what is this? About $30, roughly $37. Okay, for these three orders, and it shouldn't take. I would think I'd have this done in less than an hour and a half. For 37 bucks, that's really good. Okay, so here's my list. Um, the one customer was just initially just a case of water, and then, and none of this was really that tricky. And then the water customer keeps adding things. So at 11:16, an item added. Then a few minutes later, an item added. And I just got that message twice, but that the one item, it went from one item to four things to shop for. So there was more than just two things added here. I finished the shop at 11:35. So 21 minutes, and that's even with the additional stuff added on. So that's pretty good. 21 minutes to shop 22 things. Okay, so here's the first drop off at 12:01, 10:25, $9 tip. Okay, 13 minutes later, second drop off, 4:25, $7 tip. That's the 11:25. And then the other one became what did that start? 6.75. So it gained 75 cents because three things were added. So that's $4.50 from DoorDash and $3 tip. So this all started at 11:05 and let's just call it 12:25, hour and 20 minutes, 38 bucks. So got off to a good start. Upside down Chipotle going to commercial point decline. I think I start getting bombarded here. Look at this beauty. I mean, this is, I don't know, this should be up for some kind of award right here. $4 for two Bob Evans, two different customers, two minimum $2 orders stacked together. Or, well, no, what am I saying? Never mind. Never mind. This could be, what am I thinking? No, it could be $2 total DoorDash base pay, and then you know, two $1 tips, or I don't know why I thought that. So no, there's probably a tip on here of it, you know, a dollar or two. Upside down Panda Express decline. $3 KFC decline. And then I went ahead and paused. You know, yeah, I said yeah in yesterday's video, either just take one to end the insanity, or sometimes I'll put my dash on a pause. And I figure I stopped and got some gas first, and then I figure I'd head over to the Meyer area. And while I was going in that direction, I thought, well, I could actually, I just put in a request for my prescription. So let me see if that's done. And my wife had something to pick up too, but I got stopped at a traffic light and checked, and that was not ready yet. So I just made my way to Meyer, and you see, this is like a almost a 24-minute pause, and then so I finally unpaused it 12:55, and then you see here an offer right away. 1350, 7 Mile Meyer, only 4 items. So this time the pause worked like a charm. It doesn't get any better than that right there. This was all in one aisle. All four of these things in one aisle of the store. And, you know, found everything. Easy. 4-minute shop. Delivered at 1:20. 25 minutes for my 1350. Great. You know, 7.50 and a $6 tip. Minute later, $6, 3.5 mile Taco Bell. It's going to West Zone, but okay, whatever. 10-minute drop. Got in there, and nobody even checked with me at all. I could have stood in there for 4 or 5 hours, and that staff like completely ignored me. And well, I mean, okay. I had my suspicions that something was wrong with this, or maybe it had gotten stolen, or I mean, I don't know for sure, but I don't know. I just kind of, you know, but yeah, I could never get with a staff member to find out. So right away, $3 Family Dollar, absolutely not, decline. $5 2 mile Subway, sure. Subway's just right down the street. Did not get a pay screen on this because of this next offer coming in. As I've talked about it before, that's a pet peeve of mine. I can't stand that. But I finished this at 147. Next offer, 650, 4 Mile China Walk. And there you go. 350 and $3 tip. 15 minutes. Time for one more. $10, 3.5 mile Kroger. Only got to shop 6 things. Okay. I get in there and find everything, pretty easily until I get to the next to last item. So I know that this one aisle is not going to have both of these things in it. This true fruit, chocolate, that's frozen section. Okay. So you got frozen section and pepperoni. Now they did have in that aisle, there was a couple like little stands there that was like in the middle of the aisle that it might have had like, I can't remember if it was bread or it wasn't pepperoni. There was something sitting in the center of that frozen aisle that wasn't frozen, but But no, the pepperoni wasn't in there. So a few days ago, whenever that was, somebody commented, hey, and one time, this been like years ago, a Dasher admirer told me, multiple people have told me, hey, download the apps for these stores and you can use it to locate items. Okay, so for Kroger, I did that. Okay, downloaded it a day or two ago. Okay, so rather than hunting down this pepperoni, I stopped in the main aisle. I go ahead and pull up my Kroger app. Okay, let's go. Let's do it. Okay, here we go. A lot of help this is. Right here. Here's the pepperoni located in aisle 26. Okay. What's that say right there? Top of that photo. That 26, right? Can I interest anybody in a HBC aisle of the store? And I don't know if you can tell right here what that says. That says hair care. Folks, it's aisle 26 is HBC. Let's see, it says cosmetics, it says bath soaps, skin care, sun care, and lotions. Okay, if you have pepperoni in this particular aisle, I think there's a problem here. So thanks a lot to the Kroger app that says aisle 26, and here's aisle 26. Okay. So so then I go down to a pasta and sauces and stuff like that. Sometimes they'll have a pizza section. Go down that aisle, I don't see anything. Here's where I ultimately found it. So this is like the action alley in front of the back wall of the store. There would this display here that have different brands of pepperoni, and the Kroger brand is on top there. So thank you very much. So like I said, yeah, that app, that Kroger app sure was a lifesaver, pointing me into an HBC aisle for pepperoni. Yeah, that really helped me out a lot there. I just had a bad day, guys. I apologize. It's just a crappy, horrible day. So finished the shop at 2:22. So that was 11 minutes. And so this took about a half hour for $10. Okay, I'll take it. $5.50 and a $4.50 tip, and that is it for today. Programming note here. I think I might have talked about this. Sunday, I'm just going to do a 6 to 9. Because we're going out of town to see my daughter. So I am going to and I'm going to shoot this next, and I'm going to post it for Sunday. I'm going to do a video on like I did a week or two ago, about the latest news story that's on the DoorDash news site, news postings or whatever. Should be a kind of funny video. I don't know. We'll see. But I'm going to post that for Sunday. If by chance there is time for me to recap the little bit that I do on Sunday morning and do a quick, 10-minute video or whatever, if there's time for that before we leave, I'll make that a members only video for Sunday. And that is it. So I'm going to jump off here and like I said, shoot that other video. Guys, thanks so much for watching. Appreciate the support. If you haven't done so already, subscribe to the channel. As always, be sure to drive safe out there, and we'll do this all again tomorrow and shoot another video tomorrow. And it's going to be all DoorDash tomorrow. No other gig work. Sorry. Just DoorDash. Back to the basics. Back to the roots. We'll see you next time, guys. Thanks again.